subscribers, drivers, it sure is slow out there. It's quiet. The 405, the 5, the 101, the 10 freeways have never looked so eerie, right? And if you'd watched a video of mine 2 videos back, I basically shared with you the entire list. Romeo, how are you? The entire list of businesses, people that are exempted by this order, right? And exempted by this order are food deliveries, right? Like Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash, etc., Instacart. And exempted are also taxis, rideshare companies, etc. Sherelle, how are you? How is everybody? Dennis Torres in Long Beach. So have you gone out today? Or have you just said, forget about it? This order's in effect. More states are following, and I am just not driving. Whichever direction you go in, I respect. I shared with you a phone number and deliberately shared this phone number so you can contact and leave messages with Uber directly at San Francisco. This is a 415 number. It's a message sent and it goes directly into their legal department, right? People like Tony West, people like Katie Weitzman, people like Randall Heimovici, and people like Jennifer Sullivan. Check that phone line, put it on the record, right? If you need help, put it on the record, leave a message. If these guys can skirt the laws and bend the laws in California and not comply with the laws, and if we're not getting the help that we should be getting, you know, by all means, go to them, put them on the record, and tell them, I demand help, or I need help here, right? So just put it on the record. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Phone the 415 number and get yourself on the record, right? They can't then pretend, well, they erased it, right? It's on the record. You've left the message. Luis Hutron, very slow. Driving is no bueno, says Tim Olson. 23 driver says, how is everyone? And I'm also asking, how is everyone? How are you guys doing? How are you holding up? Are we staying indoors? Are we attempting to get some trips? The San Francisco rides dwindle for Uber and Lyft taxis as coronavirus makes Bay Area stay at home. California is staying at home. And the problem is that only a certain type of person, medical, chiropractors, doctors, car mechanics, etc., can be on the road. You can also be on the road if you want to get groceries. You can also be on the road if you want to pick up medical supplies. But you can't just be on the road if you're just some random business owner. You're driving around trying to get stuff done. You'll get a hefty fine with the possibility of imprisonment. Vicky says, very slow here in New Zealand. We send our love to New Zealand. Hope you're doing well over there. Internationally, got to rally together, right? I have left with you a San Francisco number, my friends. Don't be shy. Call it, the 415 number. As you know, a few weeks ago, I was supposed to meet with these people. A few weeks ago, right? And they said, no, you know, we're not going to travel to Los Angeles because it's too dangerous because of the coronavirus. This is a while back, a whole while back. In fact, that was on the 5th of March, right? So these guys up there with their double standards, yeah, it's fine if we go out, you know, it's fine if we are out there in the midst of these high-risk riders. It's fine if we are at airports. It's fine if we contract it, but these people, these hypocrites, Randall Heimovici, whatever his name is, Katie Weitzman, Jennifer Sullivan, all double standards, big hypocrites, right? Sending the troops out there to bring in the money, but they themselves, no, we can't drive. Here's the document right there, right? Did not want to travel. And this is on the 5th of March. We're now on the 20th of March, and we still have to drive, right? Uber and Lyft have not shut us down. We're supposed to keep on driving. Tim Olsen, there are some reliable sources now saying Corona is way worse than reported. Yeah, well, the bottom line is that with the guys that are running the show in this country, you're not getting the real numbers. You know, for them, it's a big media event, and them telling the public, you know, that they give themselves 10 out of 10 for their work and their accomplishments, but they don't have a grip on it. They don't even have the equipment. They take zero responsibility. They push back and say, you know what, the governments, the states are responsible for this. They need to do the work. They need to order the respiratory machines. They need to get the masks, instead of, you know, the country or the government manufacturing. Well, even if the prisoners have to manufacture that and give them, you know, knock off some time out of their prison sentence, but get them all active, start building. And I mean, you know, it's when you have to rally together. Amazing what they could do in World War II, right? How quickly they could build planes, how quickly they could build rockets, how quickly they could build missiles, etc. So, and then they can't even get a grip on this now. We are not seeing the true numbers. That's the sad thing. You know, both Democrats and Republicans. It's not just a one-sided affair. Definitely not. I'm not pointing fingers at one side. Both of these groups need to get a grip on it, right? They have the money. Instead of bailing out the airlines, etc., and bailing out all these companies, they need to bail out the workforce, right? Uber and Lyft should be bailing. You know, it's amazing that Dara Kay yesterday went out there, gave a speech, the first speech after a long time. Stocks temporarily rebounded, but he only spoke to the investors. He only ensured the investors keep calm. We have $10 billion. Not once did he address the most important factor of them all, and that is the drivers. Now, as I already mentioned, on Sunday, I will have the press release ready. On Monday, we're pushing out the press release. On April Fool's Day, on the 1st of April at 8 a.m., for 1 week, the Uber apps go off, the Lyft apps stay on. We're making a global statement here. And then 1 week later, on the 8th of April at 8 a.m., we switch. Lyft apps go off, Uber apps go on, just to show them who has the power, right? Who's fooling who, my friends, right? So this is a symbolic message from the drivers, 3 million strong, to these companies. We'll show you who truly has the power, right? So that they feel, that they see that their apps are down, at least 60-70% of their apps are down. We all have to rally together. And for the last 2 weeks, I've been collecting for this campaign, also putting in my own money so that we can roll it out on Monday, get everything building up towards the hype, building it up towards April the 1st. And this will circle quickly through all national and international media if you pay, like I will, for the press release. Now, let me read here. Johns J. DeGravis says China and Iran are lying about recovered and dead, because look at the world stats, averages and percentage of the world, and even the United States, only 109 recovered out of 16,000. Well, all I know is that within the last 24 hours in the United States, the numbers doubled, right? And if you had watched my video this afternoon, I have a very reliable, good source at one of the head guys at Kaiser Permanente, and he said we had an emergency crisis meeting. After talking to patients, etc., we found that, you know, this one of the or two of the biggest areas where this could be spread easily without the people thinking are at gas stations. You're filling up gas. You've got to drive around, right? Drivers do that. Everyone does it. The public does it. And you're not putting a cloth. You're not putting paper. You're not spraying the handle down with sanitizer, with spray disinfectant. You're just grabbing it. And because the stuff stays on the surface for several days, you then get it, so on and so on and so on and so on. It goes very, very quickly. Another big one is shopping carts. Everyone is rushing, grabbing that shopping cart, getting in there, getting whatever they can, right? Not protecting their hands, just grabbing that. Who was the last person on that shopping cart? Who was the last person at that gas tank? So please, these are two things. Think of all the places, right? Last week I was saying, well, if you go to a Starbucks, you open up any door handle or flush a toilet in some public restroom. Yeah, but now that I know that gas pumps and shopping carts can be added to the mix, I got to get it out there. The more we get this information out there, the more we save lives, because there are still a lot of people right now rushing into shopping centers, filling up at gas stations that don't know that. So let's circulate that. Even if you just write that into your Facebook stream to your friends, hey, by the way, just think of this. Next time you go shopping, be careful with that cart. Use paper, throw the paper away. Don't take those disposable towels and that stuff back into your car. Throw it away. Get rid of it. Clean your hands and off you go. On April the 1st, my friends, we have to make a powerful statement. Is extremely, extremely tough times, extremely tough times. Let me just read to here, read to you. Hopeless and scared, Uber and Lyft drivers face financial ruin after coronavirus. Every one of us has their story. Every one of us knows how slow it is. Every one of us knows how our earnings are diminishing. I'm not doing Uber and Lyft at the moment at all, but my private trips are down, 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 down. Everyone is scared and not getting out there. You, as a rideshare driver, you, as a food delivery person, are exempted from these orders, right? You're exempted, and you can go out there on the roads. My guess is if a police officer saw or sees the Uber or Lyft sign, they'll know, okay, yeah, these people are exempted. So you're one of the very, very few that can drive around on California roads. And I'm very sure soon on New York roads, and I'm very sure soon in Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Texas, and very sure very soon in Miami, Orlando, etc., that all of these statewide orders will come into effect, right? Gigi says, I've used a napkin over gas pump for over 5 years. Gas pumps and ATMs are disgusting. That's awesome. You've already been doing, you 5 years ahead of the curve, right? Which is amazing. Lorenzo Davis, Professor, did they shut the grapevine down? I'm not sure. I haven't read that, but I will definitely look into that. That could be Rideshare Trickster. I hope you're safe out there. Good afternoon, my friend. Louis Hutron, some recent studies show is in the air, which can go on your clothes. Yes. So in the air, like in an aerosol environment, it can float around for a few hours. On the surface, if someone infected with this on the surface grabs a shopping cart, grabs a pump, or grabs a can of soup, looks at the expiration date, puts it back again, it sits on that surface for days. So I can tell you right now, it's also should also be the duty of all these gas stations. They should have someone constantly just doing the rounds, disinfecting all those pumps. And as the cars go out, disinfecting. And then you also have to be vigilant and do your part, right? But I've left you with a 415 number in the heading of this video. You know, you can look up these guys. These are all people that I'm talking to. You can look them up. I'm sending them a very, very direct warning. You want to keep on bending the laws and hurting drivers, you have to face the consequences. That's all I have to say. And it's not going to be pretty, right? We are coming for your dollars in a big, big way, right? These people are the people that I have been conversing with. They know of me, they know I'm pissed, and they know I represent the drivers. So that's a good thing. I'd rather be on the right side of the law than on the wrong side. I'm not a person that wants to bend the law and skirt the law like they are doing so that they can save dollars and not have to pay out sick leave or people, time off, whatever you want to call it, right? I'd rather be on the right side of the law, Tony West. I'd rather be on the right side of the law, Randall Heimovicki. I'd rather be on the right side, head of safety, who's not practicing safety, Miss Katie Weitzman. I'd rather be on the right side of the law, paralegal Jennifer Sullivan, who tells the courts she should not travel, but ride-share drivers should travel. Hypocrites, people with double standards, people skirting the law, people breaking the law, right? While we're out there in the front lines, in the trenches, taking people in, still being matched with high-risk riders, bringing in the dough, bringing in the cash so that these fools can get paid. I have a warning for you. We're coming, and we're coming strong in 2020. So, and it'll reflect very, very strongly in your stock price, because now I start using monies and start putting it into media, into print media as well. I have decided that I'm bringing the battle to Randall Heimovicki's doorstep. I have decided that I'm bringing the battle to Derek Kay's doorstep. I have decided that I'm bringing the battle to Logan Green's doorstep, etc., etc., etc. You guys get the message, right? Shine Telemundo, salute. Somebody has to do it, right? And don't think you'll threaten me. Don't make any stupid threats. Just try stupid things. You know, you're dealing with a crazy motherfucking South African here. That's all I can say. So good luck to you. Been there. Listen, I've run groups, security companies in areas where I had to protect 4,000 vending machines, businesses in the slums, in the shelters, right, for years. I have been in the crossfire of AK-47s. I've laid on the floor while bullets are flying over my head. I have barricaded pool tables around windows and doors while hundreds of people were protesting with machetes, firing machine guns. Been there, done that. So being there, you think I'm fucking afraid of four little idiots at Uber? No, bring it. We're coming. I'll show you what DNA sits before you here, right? I can't stand these people. They cheat, they lie, they take your money, they'll pay the price. Randall, you know what I'm talking about. What did Uber do to harm the drivers? Keep on sleeping, Kago. Keep on sleeping. I'll buy you a pillow. Do you need sleeping tablets? What a stupid question, man. Seriously, James Wilcassis, how are the kids and your girlfriend and everyone? They're good. We've set up a whole... What?
Hi.
Hey, I'm on the... Oh, they're saying hi from the back there. Okay. So I thought you guys said bye. They said hi. Nightjackers, worked last night, made $100. How many hours did you have to put in, Nightjackers? That's it. We'll form the unions. We'll rally. Now we rally. They're not taking care of us. We'll take matters into our own hands. We're more than 3 million people strong. We just have to act organized. And we start getting organized, spending a bit of money, bringing people onto platforms. Watch what happens. Right? Eddie Leal, I had one ride today in Tampa. One ride. Made a whopping $6 and change. Not worth it. Rideshare Enthusiast says they must accepting new drivers here in LA. They must be accepting new drivers. Where do you get that information on? What are you basing that on? Oh, good. I like that. Rhino Part says, I'm driving Veho. Medical transport here in Phoenix. Mervyn Khan says, I think that both these companies, Uber and Lyft, are about to file for bankruptcy protection. Mark my words, it may be the only way forward and their perfect way to F all of us. Could be. The bottom, I mean, if he goes out there and reassures his investors, don't worry, we have $10 million in reserves. You're running through that very, very quickly if you're not getting trips in. You're running through that very, very quickly. You have to still pay an army of engineers. You're still taking all those exorbitant salaries. This is the times where, these executives should sacrifice their salaries, sacrifice the $40 million and put them into funds that count. Jeff Bezos put $25 million into their driver fund. There's Zip. And if you go to that website that they give you, if you go to that website that they give you, they basically say you got to have the coronavirus and you have to have a letter from a government official before we will even talk to you, right? So, okay, well, go out there, get it. And when you have it, come back to us. Maybe then we'll step in. But otherwise, just been all talk. Has anybody received kits with their sanitizers that they've promised? Has anybody received assistance? So I'm saying, call the 415 number that I've put in the description, in the title, right? Put it in there and contact them. Leave a message, right? This is it, You call them up and say, hey, Randall, hey, Katie, hey, Tony West, hey, Jennifer, what are you doing for us? Leave them messages. More than welcome to quote me. Tell them I told you to call them. Here it is. That's the San Fran number. Leave your message there. As the new coronavirus locks down cities across the world, Uber and Lyft drivers face the possibility of financial ruin as more people remain in their homes to rein in the illness. That's reality. That's reality. Everybody's sitting in the house, is ordered not to go out. You think they're going to get on their phone and order an Uber to go to the movies? No. Do you think they're going to get on their phones and order an Uber or a Lyft to go to a restaurant to have a nice T-bone steak? No. Do you think they're going to go and order an Uber and a Lyft to just go 3 miles up to the cinemas and watch Quiet Place? No. No. There's no trips, right? So there are very few markets, or let's say very few professional sectors that may use the roads, and there are very, very few people that are actually making the pinging you. So it completely makes sense that this person, sorry, I forgot your name, but you sat there all day and you got one ping and he made $6. How many hours did you have to put in to make $6? It's not worth it. You're better off, my friends. That $6 is like playing Russian roulette on that one trip. You're better off in that case. If you've gone out now or you're going out tomorrow, you're going to maybe say, okay, well, I'm going to test a Friday night and a Saturday night and see maybe it's busier. Guess what, folks? These people are not going out and partying anymore. So I think the Friday and the Saturday nights are gone. I think they're gone. But if you want to go and test it for 4 or 5 hours, do some calculations for a Friday and a Saturday night. Obviously, you're playing Russian roulette with your health, right? Very high possibility that you contract it. Is it worth it? O'Brien says it's time to organize for a union. We're 3 million strong and can win. Yes, and I would, not only would, but I will start putting a game plan together, which means hopefully all the YouTubers will work with us. Hopefully we can create a fund, a media fund, where we get all of these drivers on board onto one central website, get them organized, not scattered here, there, gig workers. They're all just little islands trying, but do it properly, right? A big coordinated effort, right? And then hit them hard. Because if you have 3 million strong surely, what we need is, get expertise from retired people that ran these type of unions, right? Who know how to rally the people and know how to put the pressure on, right? I'm great at the marketing side, building the sites, the platforms, all of that. I can do all of that, but we need experts in every field. We need to rally together. We're 3 million army soldiers. Rideshare Trixer says, called Lyft last night. If drivers are picking up passengers from healthcare facilities, hospitals, or ERs, we can refuse the ride. We can refuse the ride. Say we will refuse the ride. If you are being called to a hospital, right, to pick up someone, seriously, you might as well get a revolver and start playing Russian roulette, right? Let those guys get some family member to pick them up, whatever. Why? What, they ordering you an Uber and putting you in harm's way? No. Sure, the guy's got brothers or sisters or family that can pick them up, right? No, but they'd rather like, oh, you go to the hospital. You go do the dirty work. No, none of us will. Chris Bowman. I hear you. Nana Joy, start your own and make it profit sharing with drivers. We're doing that with a co-op. We're already doing that with localdriver.coop. I did put a video out this morning. I don't know how many people watched it. Companies that are hiring, right? There are certain business sectors that are hiring aggressively right now. I do ask you to come up with a plan B, plan C, plan D. Sherelle says, what do you think about Rideshare Drivers United and Mobile Workers Alliance? I don't think they're organized enough. I don't know what their true intentions are. Rideshare Drivers United, I think they're pretty decent, but we need more than that. We have all these little scattered islands. We need one group of heavy hitters that brings everybody on board, right? And in order to do that, you really have to get some big dollars on board and start running campaigns through Facebook, etc., where people can click from Facebook, get into sort of a union type website portal, register, and grow it. You got to be able to show big numbers. If you're able to show big numbers as a sort of a rideshare driver union portal, then people start coming on board. But right now, you have 4 or 5 little ones getting memberships here and there. They're not bad. They're doing a great job. But they just don't have the money or the clout or the power or the muscle to get the masses. You need big numbers. Because one union here or one little organization might be doing a rally here. The next guys are these onesies, twosies, threesies. They're not powerful enough. You have to literally have a few 100,000 people in that organization to be effective. UK, no solutions out here in the valley. They're tricking me, but put address next to hospital and medical facilities. Show passengers walking up address are misleading. That's true. So that's a good point. So if there's a medical facility and then they're going 2 or 3 streets away to order you, try to trick you there, make sure you look at your map. Make sure like, okay, if I'm going somewhere, like let's say on DeSoto, there's a big hospital there, Kaiser. There's no way in hell would I pick someone up there, right? And if somebody's trying to lure you down to Ventura or whatever, it's too close. Something that's 3 or 4 minutes away, those people won't walk that far. But if they're walking 1 or 2 streets away from the hospital, you sure know there's a character in there that needs a ride who is a potential threat, what I call a high-risk rider. William North, wash your fruits and veggies from the store. Thank you for saying that. That's great. Good advice. Wash your fruit, wash your food. Rideshare Trickster. If Uber and Lyft are tech companies, not transportation, how are they getting by this order? You know what? That's a brilliant, brilliant question, right? Let's ask Tony West. If you call yourself a tech company, how are you getting by this order? Why is California not protecting? That's a video, a Rideshare Trickster you should do, and a rideshare video that I will make. That is a brilliant, brilliant point. They're calling themselves tech companies and not transportation companies. So how are they bypassing this order? See what they're doing again? They're skirting the laws. Guys like Randall Heimovicki, Katie Weitzman, head of safety, Tony West, Jennifer Sullivan, what are they doing? They're skirting the law. We are tech companies. No, you're not, right? Now suddenly when it suits you, when it's convenient for you, you use the terminology transportation, which the rideshare drivers are, right? And you want us on the roads. But under the true terms of tech companies, none of us should be driving. Absolutely. Apptrepreneur, my friend Kevin, just uploaded a video. It says the Uber CEO feels the worst of the pandemic is over. Amazon disagrees and closes warehouses. Dude, this effing fool lives in dreamland, right? He already used the term we're on the road to recovery. No, we're not. We haven't even walked into the storm yet. This just shows you how out of whack people like Derek Kay, Tony West, Randall Heimovicki, Katie Weitzman, they're so completely removed from reality. We're a tech company. Oh, no, hang on. During the order, we're obviously a transport company, obviously, right? Because we need our drivers to drive, right? We're obviously a transport company during this order, right? Otherwise, we'd be not allowed to be on the roads, right? But then again, we also have this thing called the AB5. But no, we're not going to comply with that. We'll sue the state of California. And then we create this feature in California where you can accept or decline trips. But if drivers cherry pick on those platforms, right, then you turn around and threaten and retaliate. You're dealing with the worst of the worst type of humanity, right? The worst. These people that go out there and practice these falsehoods and lies and live in this fake, made-up world, they pay a price. Karma, my friends, the universe takes care of people like Randall Heimovicki. They take care of people like Derek Kay. The universe takes care of people like Katie Weitzman, etc., who bend and skirt the laws and put lives on the line. Big time, believe me. Now, according to an Edison Trend study released Wednesday, Uber and Lyft riders spending in the 2 weeks prior to March 15 collapsed by more than 20% in California and a whopping 40% in Washington state, two of the early hotspots in the US coronavirus outbreak. In the week prior to March 15, Uber ridership in Manhattan alone fell by more than 24%. Guess what? Those numbers are up threefold today, threefold. It's a financial crisis for a lot of people. Says New York-based Uber driver Izzat, who, along with other drivers, didn't want his full name used out of fear of repercussions from Uber and Lyft. That's how sad it is, that people fear these companies and don't want to use their real names in articles because they'll pay the price. It's disgusting. Tap truckers against predators. San Luis is terrible, absolutely fell on its face. What do you think it's down by? Or give us, anyone who's still driving, give me an idea. Today or yesterday, I worked for X amount of hours on X or Excel in this city, and I made so and so many dollars. Let's get some real numbers in here. Or just go out and say, hey, you know what? In my city, Austin, business has gone back 80%. Let's throw out some numbers. I will be working, they've contacted me one of the heaviest hitter class action law firms in California. They're down in San Diego. I will be rolling out campaigns with them, enrolling drivers to make sure that we get help, that we get protected together with this law firm. Uber is not doing it for us. So like I said, we got to take the matters into our own hands. And this company knows how I speak out against Uber and Lyft. This company knows that I'm not shy to expose them. And they say, let's work together. So I got a great email from this gentleman called James. I am truly excited to work with your James Morehouse. I'm truly excited to work with your law firm and get representation, get help to the drivers. Let's collaborate and let's hit them hard. Uppercuts, jabs, right hooks. You know, you need heavy hitters like this. You need the Shannon Riordians in Massachusetts. You need the Potter Handys in San Diego, right? These companies, you need these type of people right now who are not shy. They will spend the money and they will bring the battle to Uber's footsteps. And sadly, because these guys don't learn, people like Randall Heimovicki, they don't learn. Katie Weitzman doesn't learn. They live in their falsehoods. Tony West doesn't learn, Derek Kay. So they will pay. Can you imagine the amount of lawsuits that will flood them during these times, after these times? We're coming. We're going to take a lot of that chunk of that money, that $10 billion that you apparently sitting on. Believe me, we're going to take a big chunk of that and divert it to drivers. You need big people who are willing to stand up in these times. So happy to speak and meet these guys, James Morehouse and his team from San Diego, ready to rumble when you guys are. Urban rewilding grocery store workers are getting sick like crazy. Yeah, absolutely. You know, they are, listen, grocery workers, an infected person walks into a supermarket, grabs 4 or 5 items, puts it down. The grocery worker, you know, is outside of social distancing space with this individual, touching the things that they have touched, or coming across bags or packing up bags, and that's it. Dangerous job to do in these times, to be a grocery worker. God bless them. Thank you for doing the job. I'm not applying for that job, I can tell you that. Eric Harding, 7 hour only, could do X. I usually do Comfort, and XL made $41.20 in Dallas, Texas. He worked 7 hours. You made $6 average an hour. I can tell you right now, that's more than some people are making right now. And that's low, Eric Harding. I know it's low. Brett Herring, I've got lucky on a couple trips, but overall, I'm averaging $10 to $12 an hour. I usually make 30 to 50. I'm telling you right now, Brett, in these times, those are still very impressive numbers, because I'm just doing the math. If you're doing a 5, 6, 7 hour shift, let's say you're doing a 7 hour shift, you've made $84 in a 7 hour shift. On a good day, you were making $210. Yes, that's $120 less, doing your math, but it's still money that you can apply to food, rent. I just ask you to be safe. Every single trip, guys, every single trip, disinfect those handles, disinfect those seatbelts, disinfect all the spots that they've been touching, right? If you put your hand on suitcases, before you grab that suitcase, you know, use a microcloth, spray it down with disinfect, put the microcloth in your hand, grab the handle. That's how I've been operating. Nash Brooklyn, are we still essential and exempt from the lockdown? Yeah, we are exempt from the lockdown, but if you look at the way Tony West, Randall Heimovicki, and these guys at Uber want to spin it, if you look at how Derek Kay wants to spin it, hey, we're a tech company. Then apparently, Rideshare Trickster, love you, my friend. Thank you. 6 hours, $30, $5 per hour, down 70% from those are real numbers. See, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Righteous Trickster starts his day from Lancaster, heads out from Lancaster, probably ends up somewhere on the west side or downtown during the day. But he starts out there with a couple of trips, and then, if he's lucky, let's say a long one takes him over to the west side. But there it is, 6 hours, $30, LA driver, right? Down 70%. Danny Naranjo, thank you, Raja Reza, for taking the time to speak to us and for caring. I do care about you, Danny. I really do. Because, if you're here spending the time with me and giving me good feedback and working with your brothers and sisters, it shows that you care. And if you're showing me that you care, then the least I can do is care back for you and use this channel to hopefully bring some good, to connect with these people. And I know I'm connecting with these people, and I don't say that lightly. And if somebody doesn't believe me, I have the numbers, which I'm not allowed by law. I've given the general number of their office, of the legal office. I've left it there. Talk is cheap. That is the number. But I have the numbers of these individuals. I have their cell phone numbers, right? If they push me enough, I will release those cell phone numbers. They just have to push me enough. They need to know that they need to get things resolved for the drivers, resolved with me. They owe me a few $100,000. And if you don't pay, I make you pay. I make you pay dearly, thousandfold that price. So some of the things that I can put into effect, what these guys are not smart enough knowing, can cost them millions and millions and tens of millions and 50s of millions of dollars. Things that we can collectively do, right? So we got to stay strong. And yes, do I care? 100% I care, right? Eddie Cuevas, 50 a day here in San Fernando Valley. It's bad. Eddie, how many hours are you putting in? What platform are you on? Are you on X? Die cast and 3D printing guy. Gary, you need to educate yourself. The mask on a medical professional is for their safety, not the patient's. Well, I would argue that that mask does make a difference. I would argue that any goggles will make a difference. I will argue that plastic gloves will make a difference. I would argue that disinfectants makes a difference. I would argue that hand sanitizer makes a difference. Try to get yourself as much supplies as you can, because I believe with a combination of those 4, 5, 6 things that I've just mentioned, at least you can start reducing, right? Those, we all need to do a full app shutdown April 1st, both platforms. Yes, if you can, fantastic. But if you still need money to come in, I completely understand. If drivers still need money to come in, the minimum that I ask is that you switch off Uber for a week, right? And that we switch on Lyft for that week. And then the following week on the 8th, right, at 8 a.m., we reverse. We switch the Uber app on and the Lyft app on. On Sunday, I will read to you Andrew Carmen's press release. I've seen a first draft. It looks good. Has to be 400 words. We're stuck on about 480 words. We have to trim 80 words of fat off that press release to make it tight, to make it a zinger. And believe me when I say I'm using my name, calling out their names. I'm calling out the Tony Wests. I'm calling out the Derek Hayes. I'm calling out the Logan Greens. I'm calling out the head of safety, Katie Weitzman. I'm calling you out by name, and I'm asking you to resign in that press release. That's, other people are like skirting around and talking about AB5, la la la. It's overkill. We need to get harder. We need to get more serious with these people. Ocean Ali, what's your long-term prediction of the outcome? You think we're heading for a Great Depression as a country? Look, this is gonna really, really, really hurt this country. I mean, not just this country, globally, right? This is big. When you can't make your rents, these people can't evict you. Mortgage companies have to work with you, airlines, everyone has to work with you. And I say everyone's taking a massive, 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 massive hit. Patrice O'Neill, completely unnecessary comment. I won't even read it. In fact, a disgusting message like that doesn't get you anywhere by using those. I'm not going to mention it. What this person just said, but I'll tell you what I'll do, Patrice, because you're a hater and you're hating on other people, other countries, that's not the way to go. Right, Patrice? Sorry, bro. It's a wet, stinky piece of crap here. Sorry, buddy. I'm not going to put up with you. Not in my channel. No hatred in my channel. There you go. It flushed in. This has gone deep down into the pipes. Sorry, buddy. Ain't going to fly with me. You're a moron, my friend. You're a fucking idiot. Don't even call me that. I'll slap you from here back to where you came from. Stupid idiot for saying such things like that. No time for haters. No time for trolls. Adios. Don't come back in here. I don't want you back in here. TAP truckers said in St. Louis, typically I make 200 plus in 6 hours. That's a good hourly average. It's at least 35 an hour. Last 3 days, 121 total. Yeah, I did. A flushed error. Now, last 3 days, 121 total, 8 hours a day, so 40 a day down 75%. Thanks for doing the math. It's a lot. Nightjack is, why do I have a mini toilet? Not for myself. I wouldn't be able to fit in there. It's for my trolls. It's how I get rid of the trolls. I flush them. Right, it's what I do. Everyone has their way. Alliance Drivers Unite, Uber stock bounced up today to almost 24. These are short day traders covering their positions, but only closed 81 cents above yesterday's close. Most likely continues dropping next week. It will drop next week. Yeah, absolutely. These are people just covering their shorts. And that's why I made a video called it a temporary rebound. There's nothing to get excited about, investors. It's Derek K jumping out and say, hey, we have $10 billion to carry us through, but you are burning so much cash, you're not getting anything in at the moment because the numbers are down. So wait in 2-3 weeks' time. Wait in 2 weeks' time and let's look at the stock price. Let's look at the stock price. Let's see. On 5th of April. TAP Truckers says, it's tough. I screwed myself. I was making $1,400 a week for a year, so I bought this and that. Now I'm super screwed. Yeah, don't live beyond your means, right? It's fine when the cash is going in, but you don't go out and buy all these toys, right? And I'm not, trust me, I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying put money aside for a rainy day because it will come. Nash Brooklyn says it will be a mess if Uber with Lyft reactive instead of proactive. Sherelle says to Nightjack is to flush trolls like he just did. Exactly. She knows. It's how we flush them. Brett Herring says, yeah, I feel you, TAP. This is like a wake-up call to be prepared for anything in this game. So if this is not a wake-up call, what is, right? Let this be a huge, huge, huge lesson for the years to come. Start working a little differently. Start putting money aside. Carlos Regoza Ponce says, tempted to go to work for a few hours, but LA under lockdown. Don't think exposing myself to a virus worth a few bucks. Well, you as a rideshare driver, you're permitted to go out there to provide transport. But you're putting yourself in harm's way, no doubt about it. Shine Tilamunda, Uber wage has been dropping steady for a while. Yes, the higher the numbers go up, the less people on the road, the less people traveling, the less pings we're getting. Very simple formula. Thomas Brown says the wake-up call is China needs to pay for what they've done. Their actions are directly responsible for this plague. I'm not defending China, right? And then what about all the other atrocities that other countries have committed? Should everybody start paying everyone? Here. Just cut your hatred. It's not going to get you anywhere. Every country does things, right? I'm not pinpointing anyone. I'm not name calling anyone. I don't do that. If you do, you're judging. Should we start judging you for being a hater and a racist? We're not going to do that. Don't want to. And other countries do that as well. Or you have your sight set on China now? Is all your anger directed at China right now? Right? Walmart, all these American companies make 70-80% of their products in China, right? They use them to make money here for this economy. They're using cheap labor over there. You got your head up your ass, buddy. You don't understand global politics and you don't understand global economics. You don't, right? Because right now, Apple, all of these companies are manufacturing in China. And now that they've done this thing with the virus, you get into your hating mode, right? You better start looking at what other countries have done. What did Germany do back in its history? What has America done? Dropped atomic bombs. You think they're all squeaky clean? No one's squeaky clean. Thomas Brown, you own that. That's that IDOT, it's written on your cap, not me. I'm not affected by what you're trying to tell me. You own that. You're projecting right now, right? You're projecting. Good luck with that. Not going anywhere. Good luck, hater. We don't have time for haters. Adios, hater. We can look at each other's bank accounts. I'd hate to see yours. Right? Bye, Thomas. Have a wonderful life. Carlos Regoza, he's gone. He's gone. Boom. He's gone like that. I'm not your God. Please don't call me your God. I'm just saying, quick to point fingers at one country but doesn't understand what other countries have done historically. You're not part of the solution, my friend. You're part of the problem. Ari, how are you today? Good. Let's see now. Let's go back to this article here. We were busy going through that. Drivers facing huge drops in ridership. 6 Uber and Lyft drivers that Yahoo Finance spoke to in New York and California said they've seen a steep drop off in the number of passengers looking for rides, with earnings so low they barely cover fuel costs, right? So that you're making a negative right there. You're not making money. San Francisco Lyft driver Stephen Smith is earning far less than minimum wage at the moment. And where are they? Are they there to help him? No, they're not. So that's why we're going to make a statement. We're going to make a powerful statement. Well, nightjackers, you're getting ready to start your shift, but debating on it now. Look, this is the way I would approach it, right? Elias, how are you? This is how I would approach it. If you really can do without that money, if you have some savings aside, I wouldn't go out there. But if you desperately, desperately need that cash, maybe go out there for 3 hours, 180 minutes, do a quick calculation after 3 hours, and then say, is it worth driving another 3 hours? Right? Is it worth putting in 6 hours tonight? What market are you in? Ziggy 007, that's why I say phone and leave your messages here with Uber. Here. Here's the number. Ask them. Ask the tough questions. Don't be shy. Just ask the tough questions. There it is. I just put the phone number up there just now, didn't I? Ari says, so who are you talking to? Are you talking to me, Ari? I don't know who you're asking. Ask you, are you and Mark feuding with each other? You know, I've been a long-time viewer. I'm not sure who you're talking about, which Mark and what feud, unless you're referring to someone else. Andrew Malone, Melbourne, Florida in the house. Mark Caesar, Australia, we welcome you. How are you, buddy? How are you doing over there? Where in Australia, Mark Caesar? Thank you. Thank you, Ziggy 007. Appreciate it. I was looking for the number. Thank you. Toronto is dead. Ronald Maybury, send my love back to Delaware. I appreciate you. Mark Biss in London, I stopped Uber a few weeks ago and won't be back for at least 2 months. Boston market, wise decision. Dave Griffith, we welcome you. Hi to Phoenix, Arizona. Exactly, Sherelle, Ghost Town. John Bloxham reports San Francisco Bay Area has no rides. I'm in Antioch. No rides at all? How many hours have you been out there waiting for trips? Give us some feedback. Give us some real hours. How many hours you've been out there, what platform you're on, what city, what did you earn? So we can get a good idea. We can run some hourly average calculations. Olive Omoisi, Kid Zone, let's roll. Alrighty, Lake Tahoe will be dark, very dark. Alonzo Neto. You had to switch days. That's the type of crap that floats around in these times, man. People have nothing better to do. So do you think these guys are going to file bankruptcy maybe 1 or 2 months from now? Do you think they're going to burn through this 10 billion? Do you think Derek Kay is full of shite? TAP Trucker says, medical professionals needing rides to the hospitals. Honestly, I'm avoiding the hospital like the plague. Now, it's tough, eh? Like, you know, I mean, you want them to get there, these helpers, but then at the same time, I mean, these helpers are high-risk people right now, right? They're in the front lines. I did. Eddie Leal, block him. Don't waste your energy on these trolls. Want to give them a nice, good flatty, you know. I'd like to give them the flatty before I flush them. Heart donor. Well, it's nice of you, Ari Goodman, that you're taking care of your 82-year-old mother. Those are the type of people that you have to worry about. No. Ziggy 007 Uber drivers are not on lockdown from California. They're exempted. I've made a video on all the exemptions. For example, my friends, Ruben and all of them, you know them, I've made many videos. Their mechanics are exempted. Mechanics can go and keep on fixing cars so that people, you know, can use those cars during these times. Medical helpers, specific government people, and taxi drivers, rideshare drivers, food delivery. You can't eat inside a restaurant, but if the restaurant is creating meals that can be for pickup purposes or for delivery purposes, then that individual can go to the restaurant. So the only way you are going to survive, as a restaurant owner is if you have the database of all your clients and say, hey, we understand you're not going to come and sit in our restaurant. We understand that that is prohibited and social distancing is not possible in the restaurant. But let me tell you, here's our menu. We will drive that food to you and put it at your door, you know, if you want that. So hopefully smart restaurant owners have built up databases of all their clients. You know, if you still want food, if you still want pizza, like Domino's Pizza, sure, they're hiring up to 10,000 people. They are working around the clock right now. These companies like pizza delivery companies, pizza companies are making dough. No pun intended, right? They're making cash. But if you don't have any marketing, you are a restaurant, you don't have a database of all your clients, and you're not doing food deliveries, you're done. You're done. You can pack up. See, David Griffith just said it. McDonald's is a drive-through only. You're not allowed to sit in the McDonald's. You can drive through, pick up your food, and I bet you their drive-throughs are insanely busy. Insanely busy. Yes, you are. Mark Johnson, are we allowed to do Uber Eats during the lockdown? Yes, you are. Food deliveries are exempted. Truth Warrior, Sam's Club is hiring. I just got a text from them. Cool. Thank you for sharing. There's good information. Good information. We appreciate. There's a type of information I appreciate. What Truth Warrior puts out there. These and these guys. If you could just share with us what city, maybe even the number, right? Well, Happy Diaz, Professor, please explain to me the government bailout to big airlines. Well, so they put forth a 1 trillion or 1.5 trillion bailout. Huge portion of that goes to the airline industry. Back in the day, we bailed out the car industry, right? During those times, we bailed out the mortgage industry. But these people have to pay back. I mean, you can't just give them free loans. Otherwise, every time there's a crisis, you're just offering free loans. No, there has to be a payback way. So to keep these airlines afloat, they're obviously hurting because of decisions, tough decisions that have to be made. Many other industry sectors are hurting, right? To support them through the bad times, sure, it's a good thing. But that support, that financial support, also needs to come in form of a payback interest or something, right? Otherwise, you could just, mismanage. Auto industry could just like all mismanages. Hey, we need bailout money, free bailout money. No, it comes at a price. In that 1 trillion plus, obviously, a lot of that's also intended for those checks that you're supposed to get, right? For example, I've subscribed to a weekly coronavirus update from the LA Times. I don't know if you guys have done that. If you're in LA, good evening. Friday, March the 20th. Here's what's happening with a coronavirus outbreak in California. This is for my Californians, if you want me to read this to you, and beyond, as we head into the weekend at home, plus a list of ways to spend it. California public health officials repeatedly warned over the last decade that millions of dollars in federal budget cuts were weakening their ability to respond to a widespread health crisis. The Times investigation found those cuts reduced the number of medical workers, including epidemiologists, whose expertise is critical in an outbreak, and jeopardized their ability to do lab tests, officials said. The budget woes have left California desperate for more resources. Intensive care beds at Los Angeles County's emergency room hospitals are already at or near capacity, even as those facilities have doubled the number available for COVID-19 patients because of the continuing shortage of test kits. Why do we have a shortage of test kits? I don't know. The county health department has instructed doctors not to bother testing symptomatic patients if a positive result won't change their treatment decisions. Wow, that's sad. Health workers will have to make choices about which patients receive scarce resources like hospital beds and ventilators. God, man, they have to learn from this. They got to get fucking ready for the next storm. It's just unacceptable. We have to decide who must die and whom we shall keep alive. To hear that, we have to decide who we keep alive and who has to die. It's disgusting, said one doctor in Italy, where the death toll has already passed 3,400. Besides navigating wrenching ethical dilemmas, doctors, nurses, and other hospital workers say the anxiety levels are rising as they hear about medical workers falling sick, not just in Italy and China, but in the United States as well. We're going to start dropping like flies, said one urgent care nurse in Los Angeles. Wow. With a vaccine as far as 18 months off and effective treatment still unidentified, some scientists are investigating convalescent plasma, little known therapy with ancient roots. Scientists believe antibodies in the blood of recovered patients have the potential to prevent reinfection and possibly even act like a vaccine. This is not a proven treatment, said US Food and Drug Administration Commissioner Stephen Hahn, but he called convalescent plasma a pretty exciting area. Beware of misinformation about the pandemic. It's spreading like wildfire via social media, email, and text messages. We're not just fighting an epidemic, we're fighting an infodemic. True. Also, be careful about all those scams going on, those calls where people are trying to sell you insurance, where people say they need your, it's a big one, a big scam floating around, that people need your banking details, your financial details, because they have to send you the test kit. Don't fall for that shit. Truth Warrior. Your life is not worth risking by driving. Be careful, guys. When I was driving in the fall, winter of 2018, 2019, I always had hand sanitizer and sanitizer wipes in my car. Mark Caesar said there was talk today on Australian TV that a medicine of HIV medicine combined with some other being issued in hospital since it has proven effective. Yeah, I mean, there's talk of a lot of things that are working, but nothing really we can really fall back on. Thanks for sharing, Trickster. Yeah, so call that number that we put out there, the 415 number. If you need any help, circulate that number. These people need to start answering. I stocked up on a ton of this stuff. The water was out, so I just grabbed a couple of cases of that. Takes months and months to run the trials and billions of dollars. That is correct. It's not just an overnight solution. It takes a long, long time. No matter who's telling you what, you can't start testing stuff on people if it has specific side effects. So they're very careful because of lawsuits, blah blah blah. So, just be safe. Great Cardiel says, keep your eye out for Channel 7 News, how I destroyed Uber CEO. You guys need to watch this. I hope they don't edit it. That's great, man. Good for you. Excellent. Definitely. What city is that in, Great Cardiels? Truth Warrior says, I have a Berkey water filtration system, best $245 I've ever spent. Good for you. Stocks, currency, Uber stocks are rising because of Uber Eats delivery. So the big Uber executives are still making. Stocks, currency, you're dreaming, my friend. You're dreaming. There's not many people going over to, you're dreaming. You're just trying to protect the stock. I can tell you right now, you're not dialed in. You are not dialed in. Uber trips are down. The big bulk of their business is down. So yeah, they picked up a couple of little scraps here and there, a couple of people that have signed up with Uber Eats. I refer a lot of people, and I can tell you, I haven't signed up many Uber Eats people, just a few. So, they're pumping it up, man. They're juicing the numbers, and they're juicing the numbers. Maybe you swallowing their pill. I'm not buying it. That stock is worth shit in 2 months' time. You have that. You got them. So the attorney is texting me right now. Right now. How's this for crazy? Right now. We have not received your documents. That is true, because they held up with FedEx. That is true. We cannot access your documents. Yes, you can. I've sent you the link. You got them, link and all. I just texted him. You got them, link and all. I sent it. I sent it to you directly. See how they had with the excuses? I sent it to you directly. I don't offer extra time. Talking to him right now. If you're listening to me, Mr. Randall Heimovicki, I'm texting you right now. I said, call in. We're doing a live stream about you. Excuse my silence, but I'm having fun here. I don't fucking, no more gamers, my friend. He wants to buy time. I told him, I don't do the song and dance. They think they want you to do the song and dance for them, but you don't. Now it's just, you got to get them before a jury and that's it. You can't, you have to be patient now, go through the court system. But I give people the opportunity, I give them an out. I give the rats an out, right? You got to give the rats an escape route, right? And they don't want to take the escape route. Tough luck, right? And then you got to feel it. The company has to feel it in form of dollars. that they lose. Because together we yield a ton of power over them, because we're 3 million strong. That's what they underestimate, you know. As I said, I started out in the beginning of this video stating very, very clearly that these individuals, I called them out, Randall Heimovicki, Katie Weitzman, Tony West, paralegal Jennifer Sullivan, all of these people, they know what the law says on January the 1st, 2020. They know how they should be handling each and every California driver right now. But what the little part that they're not willing to say, because obviously they don't want to be caught on record, right, is that they don't acknowledge it, right? They don't even acknowledge that that law exists. They sue the state. They buy time. That's all they do. This guy, what he's doing right now with me right now is trying to buy time, but I'm not granting him extra time. Now I'm hitting him hard. I told him, I warned him, I would switch all those videos back up, put the phone numbers out there, let it ring. Call them up right now. What was the number again? Call it up, 415. Please, somebody had the number early on. Do share the San Francisco number. Call him up right now. I have no time for you, my friend. You got the documents from me, got everything from me, and is trying to buy time. Come right into my live feed right now. Call me if you've got the balls, right? We want to hear your voice. Why don't you talk to some of the people? I will gladly read the messages out to you, Randall, from these people. I'll gladly tell you how your audience, how the drivers worldwide feel. There it is. Thank you, Ziggy. You're an awesome. There we go. Call them up right now. 619. I gave them till 5 p.m. Didn't respect me. The guy said he understood. He didn't understand. I will make him understand. Believe me. Doesn't know how I dealt with McDonald's. He does not know how I dealt with Time Warner. Those are not small companies. Those are not small companies. I can tell you that right now. Those are not small companies, right? And they paid, because they also try to do the song and the dance and the this and that. These guys know what they're doing. They know how to skirt. They know how to bend the law. They are not playing ball with the driver, right? And it's going to cost them millions and millions. Instead of like going out there, coming from truth, right? Instead of trying to delay, make people angry, try to buy time. It's all they're doing. By Derek Kay coming out there, buying time, right? Telling his investors, not talking to the drivers, but telling the investors, hey, we have $10 billion, we'll get through these times, right? That's just covering all the short sales. Wait, they're not getting any monies coming in, right? Look at California. You think there's an abundance of money flowing around on rideshare trips in California right now, Derek Kay? Or Randall? Or Katie? No, there's not. It's the well is dry. There's no water for you guys in that well. You're getting a few little onesies and twosies here with Uber Eats, but you have this massive infrastructure. You still have all these hubs worldwide. You have to pay the rents. You still have to pay the engineers. You still have to pay these mega salaries to Logan Green, to Derek Kay, to Tony West, to Randall Heimovicki, to Katie. You still have to pay them these mega salaries, right? But that well is drying up. You mark my words, 2 weeks from right now, and watch where that stock is. Just watch, right? And when we start putting these things into the media, right, they don't understand how angry the drivers are. They don't understand, right? But what I do know is that he has my information. No excuses, Randall, if you're watching right now. No excuses, Katie. No excuses, Jennifer. I switched back all of those videos, right? Because you did not come through, right? You have double standards. You guys are hypocrites. You never came. They filed on the 5th of March saying, no, we're not going to travel down there, but they're expecting drivers. They're expecting me to go out there and still work, you to go out and work, but they have double standards, right? They didn't want to show. So they bought another 60 days. I politely gave you took those videos down. I gave you till Friday, 5 p.m. to respond. We now have 6:45. You 1 hour and 45 minutes over your deadline, Randall. Sorry, you missed it. You never called me before. You said you understood, but obviously you don't understand. Very simple English here. When I set a deadline, I mean it. And after that, I don't grant you extra time. That's it. So I know he's watching. Phone in. If you've got the balls, if you say who you are, tough guy, former army guy, call in. You don't have the balls to call in because we'll ask you tough questions. You're facing 3 million people here, my friend. Doesn't know it. But anyway, okay. It's all right. Moving calm, they have not heard of calm, and they don't know how I fight the fight, right? I don't do anyone harm or anything like that. No, I'm not going to do anything stupid, but I will go and find effective ways, many effective ways. The cherry picking, under 4 we ignore. After 5 we drive. It's cost them a lot of money because they leave a lot of people pissed off on the side there, and people are ignoring those trips because people realize that those $2 or $3 trips don't pay. And in California, if you can cherry pick, we're declining them. Why do you think they started retaliating with a thing, we'll give you a timeout? Because what we were doing was working, right? Now they're in the disaster zone. Now all their wells are drying up. All these markets are closing up. These guys are fearful of losing their jobs, right? Lawyers will be cut back. Engineers will be cut back. Hubs will probably be shut down permanently. They cannot carry this mammoth cost operation, right? They're burning through cash extremely fast right now. And every quarter, they're still reporting a massive loss, right? And I tell you what, there's going to come a point where investors are not just going to inject money, or ship money on the Titanic, because eventually they know that thing is going to hit the iceberg. My guess, 2 to 3 months' time. We're following the graph, seeing where we are now. They've doubled the numbers from yesterday to today. Watch all these states start following suit. It's just California, New York, and a handful of states that are shut down. Watch when we're a national shutdown. Watch their wells dry up. That's when people like Randall Heimovicki or Katie Weitzman might have to take a big salary cut or go and start looking for other jobs, or also looking at plan B and C and D like we are, right? I talk in very simple language. My friend, if I give you a deadline, if I send the documents to you, right, PDF file to you, where you can just click on the link and have a look, print it out, you have your printer, no excuses. All you're offering me right now is the excuse that I've seen from Uber for years and years and years. I know how you operate, right? That's it. Your time is up. John Michelian, I just had to rant and rage a little bit here. Right while I'm making the live stream, I have one of their head attorneys text me with more excuses, what I call the little song and dance. I know how attorneys do their song and dance, but I set my deadlines for a reason. When I say Friday, 5 p.m., don't text me at 6:45 with a bullshit excuse. Doesn't work. Backfires, right? Got to be firm with these guys, and you've got to slap them 1,000 times, then only. And the way you hit them is in the media. So watch out. Watch what happens, plays out in the media next week, right? And guys, if you have money set aside, your health is way more worth than the dollars, than the few dollars we're making here and there. If you please listen to me carefully, if you have monies set aside for a rainy day, and I hope people have been putting into those funds, right? Into those rainy day funds. Do not go out and subject yourself to rideshare trips. It's really, really dangerous. And please, Richard Feinberg have asked once, I'm asking again, what city are you driving in and what source are you using for your food deliveries? Okay, to make $200. I'm sure he'll get back to you. Let's keep it cordial. Let's keep it. One thing I can say is about our family of brothers and sisters and drivers here, we speak extremely respectfully to each other. We help each other. Look at Mandy, right? The girl that was dying of cancer. We rallied $5,000 for her. We work together. That's how drivers, millions of drivers worldwide, people calling in from New Zealand, where people are calling in from Australia, people calling in from the UK. We can activate the troops anytime. That's what these guys don't understand, right? And I'm telling you right now, their wells are drying up fast. On April the 1st, another symbolic protest online this time, namely through your apps on your phone. We switched the Uber apps off for a week, 1st of April to the 8th of April. The Lyft apps go on, and then we reverse. The Uber apps go on and the Lyft apps go off. So you can actually shut off from one platform for an entire week and operate on the other platform. And by the way, the statistics show me that about 82% drive on both platforms. So those 82% of the drivers, if your pickings are so slim at the moment, right? They're so low. Then just send the symbolic message to these guys. Send the symbolic message to my dear friend here, Randall Heimovicki, who thinks it's a joke and who thinks that I want to sing and dance with him. I don't want to sing and dance with you. I operate in a very, very different way, my friend. Not your conventional attorney, your defendant plaintiff way. I work in a whole different dynamic that you're not used to. You'll never figure it out. Josh Neal, no disrespect, but have you been offered or would you expect shut money from Uber or Lyft? Would you accept shut money? No, I expect the money that's owed to me through my work. I don't expect anything else beyond that. If a judge ever awarded punitive damages, fine, let a judge decide. I expect the monies that they have stolen from my account. Or let me put it this way. I expect the monies where they have found creative ways not to pay me out or to bend or change the law, just like they're doing with AB5 right now, right? They're just buying time. They try to they get very, very creative in their legal ways so that they don't have to pay out. They're masters at bending and changing and manipulating the law. They're masters. That's what they're getting paid for. But the universe, my friends, works in mysterious ways. See that? Say, start all of that nonsense by fighting AB5 on the 1st of January. They file the lawsuits at end of 2019. See what's happening right now? See what's happening energetically, karma-wise in the universe? These guys are getting slapped down like they have never, ever felt before. This is for all their wrongdoing. Except shut up money. Josh Neal, I don't understand what you call under shut up money. I accept monies that are owed to me. That's a lot, right? And again, like I'll say it, in superior court in LA, the judge orders a specific amount of punitive damages. I have seen, I fought a case for a friend that I spearheaded where we were filing for $300,000 damages, and the judge gave another $500,000 punitive damages, and the person had to pay $800,000. Right, so I've seen it all. I've been in a case in Orange County where the judge awarded $2.6 million punitive damages to a lady who was having a battle in a divorce case with another guy. Right, $2.6 million punitive damages. So you'll see, you catch a judge on a wrong day, he'll slap you down. Slap you down. Been very quiet. Randall's very quiet. I know why he's very quiet, because he's listening to us right now. They know I switch it all on. And I'm telling you right now, like they ask me hands off certain people. Now I bring it, right? I was willing to switch it off, give you guys a chance. They disrespected me. And now I'm going to show how I disrespect your company and disrespect you as an individual, Randall. Cost you big money. It could be very, very dirty. Play as dirty as you want to. Anyway, enough of that. That's a private conversation, John Neal, because you could be them right now. Not to be paranoid, but I'm not going to say anything here that'll jeopardize my chances. I'm not stupid either. I'm not going to be baited either. So the bottom line is they have the chance, or they had the chance to resolve this. It's been a lot of back and forth between us for a long, long time, right? And like I say, the double standards now, back in March and the beginning of March, where it wasn't even classified as a pandemic yet, but they would not travel. They would not travel down to Los Angeles. They wanted to buy more time, but they were expecting us to travel. They were expecting us to go out there and work for Uber. So what I'm saying is these people have double standards. You just have to present it to the courts in that way, how they operate, right? They ask for one thing and say one thing, but they act in a very, very different manner. It's very, very easy to show that to a judge. You just have to paint a picture. You have to create a frame. You have to create a frame, and then you paint the picture for them that fits into that frame as clearly as possible with a black marker, with a Sharpie, right, and a piece of paper, right? I say to you, right, I am going to, let's say if I say to you, very simple, right, I'm going to draw a picture frame. There it is. There it is, right? I paint your picture frame. You agree with me? That's a picture frame, right? Now I decide what I put in that picture frame. Let me just show you. Is that person happy or sad? Pretty easy, right? Pretty easy. Make it very, very simple and clear. Very simple language. You don't have to be, you don't have to be a Van Gogh or Monet or a Picasso and draw elaborate in all these different colors. Very, very simple. Frame it and whatever you want to fit in that frame. Just use very simple words that people understand. Let's see, Enrique Hernandez, good to see you again, my friend. Bill Sam, we need to file for unemployment. What I will be preparing you for in the next few weeks, together with this law firm, Potter and Handy, is there will be multiple different class action lawsuits, including a complete new lawsuit that Uber really doesn't want to deal with. And it's because of all the people that they've shafted with the referrals. But on the AB5 issue, right, the sick pay, the leave, all of that, the non-compliance in California and beyond, will be hitting hard on that side. And then I'm also going to keep on empowering the little guy, the driver, the ex-driver, wherever you are. If you're owed $200-300 or $7,000, I have showed people how to go and collect their monies. I have showed people what documents they need to file, right? How to file arbitration papers, right? Because the bottom line is if you get a wrongful deactivation, friend the other day got a wrongful deactivation. I know this person, right? They make up some BS, right? It gets deactivated. You have to then take the wrongful termination case to them. You can't just sit back. You're losing money, right? Because if they're going to take the rider over you and listen to the false report of the rider over you, then they have to deal with you, even in small claims court, right? Or in arbitration. But you got to go after these guys. You can't be shy. You got to stand up for yourself and make a statement. No, Uber's not going away. Uber's just wingman. Uber's just burning through cash. Big time. Very, very fast. Edwin, how are you? Edwin Kange, nice to see you, my friend. How are you? You're in Cape Town, right? Where are you, Edwin? Tekken Hodgets, where are you? What part of the country? Imagine how all the drivers, the drivers are stressed, the drivers have anxiety, the drivers are living in fear, the drivers are trying to figure out plans how they get tomorrow or to next week's paycheck, right? And they're hurting financially. Unfortunately, it's a language and a world that these guys don't understand. Because if you're moving in the world of $45 million salaries, you'll never understand. But what I do understand in very, very simple math, I understand who's doing the work. I understand who's bringing in the money, right? I understand that there are a lot of extremely foolish decisions made by leadership at Uber. And hence I call for their resignation. We need competent leaders at Uber. We need a competent CEO. We don't need a Tony West who bends the law and tries to fuck drivers every single day, right? We need people who are willing to value, who are willing to cherish the work that drivers do for their company. That's the type of relationship you want, right? Dallas, Texas, how are you? Good. Indianapolis, yes, boss. Cape Town, Kaapstad, Kapies. Lekker in die Kapies, my broer. Baie goed. I used to stay in Backhoven, right next to Camp Spey. Check it out. Love Camp Spey. It was my playground. Media Night Radio, good to see you. John McKellian, this is the same company who can't wait for self-driving cars. Yep, they're trying to get there. It's getting more and more impossible for them, you know, because now they should not, when they said it'd be profitable by the end of 2020, so swallow his words, karma, right? They won't even be profitable in 2021, never. And they'll be lucky if they can make it to 2021. They'll be lucky. They might be taking on, you know, emergency reserves. Wait till this company only has about $2, $3, $4 billion left. Wait, it's going to happen sooner than you guys think. Media Night Radio, stop driving. Probably a very, very wise choice. Allentown, Tony, give me the loot. That's what we're doing. We're going to get the loot. I will collect the loot. We'll have them pay a lot of loot, as in form of, we'll educate them. They'll pay educational dollars because they're stubborn. They don't see the bigger picture. Hacker, Corona, my Corona, says Hacker, how are you? How's it going over there, Hacker? Have you hacked any platforms lately? Bill Sam, Tony West is one corrupted individual. Yeah, he just doesn't have his priorities right, really. You know, it's a tech platform, not a driver, not a transportation. It's like spitting in your face. That's what Tony West does. It just spits in the drivers' faces. And they don't like him, right? So people like that, I mean, you know, Tony West, Derek Kay, do you know how much they spend on security each year? Imagine living in their world when you are so fucking hated. When you are so hated. You have to spend, I mean, the amount of money that Derek Kay spends on security. Jesus. Would you want that job for all the money in the world when you've pissed off millions and millions of people and you're walking around always watching your fucking back? You're paying all that money on security? These are hated people because they are hurting drivers, right? That's how these guys work. They figure out shit, how to take away, how to steal, how to bend the law, how to rewrite the law, right? But not with me. Good luck. They met the wrong person, unfortunately. Stephen Lopez, how are you today, my friend? How's your Friday night? Are you going out? You staying in? Again, what I'd like to hear, Kelly New says, I prefer my life than driving gig share. Your life, your health is the most important thing in the world right now, right? You probably have kids, you have a spouse, you have to be there for someone. And let me tell you, that if you can find ways and means to get around rideshare, right, do it. Please do it. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family, right? I love it. John McKellian, I'm writing my book. Please do share with us what the title of your book is. Maybe we can contribute. Maybe we can help. Maybe we can assist in the marketing. Maybe we can give it reviews. When Harry Campbell, the rideshare guy, came out with his book, he reached out to me, wanted me to do reviews on it. There's a lot of ways you can pump up a book. Many people use specific formulas on Amazon to get their books onto the bestseller lists. Check it out. There's videos made about it. It's fascinating stuff. Laura just walked in. She has her office upstairs. I have my office downstairs. The kids have their offices in their rooms. So everyone has their office. We're learning how to live together and work around each other. It's challenging, isn't it? She's like, yeah, it's very challenging. It's very challenging. Stephen Lopez says, staying in with my wife and daughter. They shut down the beaches, clubs, restaurants. Yeah, it's tough. You can't just go out and take your lady out for a dinner, or take your kids down to the beach. You can go out, go on a hike. These things are still allowed during the shutdown, in the California shutdown, as long as you keep your social distancing 6 feet from other people. You can go for a walk. You can go for a hike with your kids, right? You can go and pick up pharmaceutical supplies. You can go and pick up food. But you can't just wander around visiting friends. If they find they can fine you, fines are pretty steep. Just read the order. Dark Angel, I don't know where you, in what universe you moving off to, but you're being very dark. Get out of that. Change it. Change that word dark to light. It'll help a lot. Don't put that frequency out there, my friend. McDonald's drive-through. Is that where you're going, Rhino Parts? Leo Casamento, I just left a nice message on that line you gave. Fantastic. Enough is enough. That's it. The soldiers speak. I appreciate you. Good one. Thank you. Is the whole nation on lockdown? No, I believe a few states are. Does anybody know which ones they are? I think it's
Illinois, New York, and California.
Illinois, New York, California. Laura just told me those three. Which ones will follow? It's getting real, says Intelligent Man. It's getting real. Sunny Days, thank you so much for the $5 contribution. A lot of babies are going to be born in 9 months' time. Right you are, my friend. Right you are. There's going to be a surge. There's going to be a baby surge. It's not going to be an Uber surge or a Lyft surge. There's going to be a baby surge in 9 months' time. Love the humor. Keep the humor coming. Keep the humor coming. Great one. 10 out of 10 for that one. Very possible, Truth Warrior. Washington, I bet, would be next. I'm sure that within the next week, a few additional states will follow. Pretty sure. Look, it's the only way, what do they call it? What, flattening the curve? Yeah, it's the only way you flatten the curve, by keeping people indoor, not going out, mixing and mingling. I made that video this morning, guys. When you fill up your car, please, those handles at the gas tank, use a cloth or paper, throw it away afterwards. Don't take that paper back into your car. When you're going shopping, those shopping carts, don't just grab the handle. I mean, 500 or 600 people that day who've grabbed that handle before you, right? Use your disinfectant spray, wipe it down, use paper, and then when you're done with that paper, throw it away. Let's be vigilant, my friends. Rick Nelson, Texas and Colorado, my relatives there say so. Really? I haven't heard that. Mazarov Ibrahim, thank you for the $10 donation. Love you. I appreciate you. Keeps me going. And by the way, guys, we have 114 people in the house. I have 77 thumbs up. So everybody thumbs up, thumbs up. Give the rideshare professor some love. Show some thumbs up. You know what happens when I get thumbs up? It helps my YouTube algorithms. Dustin always tells you that, right? I learned that from Dustin, straight out of Dustin's playbook. Thank you, Dustin. Dustin always says, thumbs up, everybody. Whoa, look at my shares. Look at the rideshare professor shares just shot up to 85 because of you. We're on 87. Oh, my goodness. Our shares, our driver shares are the only ones that are climbing. Thank you. Love from Texas. Where in Texas? Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston. Where are you from, my friend? Mazarov? Do share, do share. Pete Alvarez, love from Austin, Texas. Can't wait to get back there again. Great, great city. David Garces says, gracias, Dustin. Yes, huge, huge thank you to Dustin and all the other YouTubers for just, helping us through these times, allowing us to communicate with each other, be respectful to each other on a platform, right? That feels good, right? If you say something, somebody else is listening, acknowledging. It's like a big family here talking to each other. And again, thank you, Dustin, to all the other YouTubers for contributing, for making these videos, for injecting some humor into these difficult times. John Bloxham gives like 10 thumbs up in a row. Thank you. Appreciate Harry, the rideshare guy, Harry Campbell, coming onto my live feed the other day and saying some kind words. That's what we're about. That's what drivers are about. That's where Uber and Lyft have a lot to learn, how we operate, the world that we move in. Pat says, thank you from me. Tim Taylor, thank you. Oh, there's San Diego in the house. How are you, buddy? And congratulations on his new Cadillac. It's Thomas Gibson. You met Thomas Gibson at the party. The wonderful guy that came with his Harley Davidson, like the suave-looking guy with his Harley jacket. Great guy. He just says hi. Thank you, Thomas.
Hi.
Saying love. Laura says hi. Laura met Thomas at the Long Beach party. Rhino Parts says, I love your vids. They are my favorite. Well, I love you back, Rhino Parts. I appreciate you being here. You're part of the family. You guys are awesome. David Garcia, how are you feeling? David Garcia says, beautiful bike, Thomas. He saw it on the day. It is a beautiful bike. And he came cruising up with the 5 and the 405 to Long Beach, right, with his Harley. Eddie Leal says, wonder what the 1% are doing now. David Garcia is feeling better. Good. It's a slow process, but your neck is getting more flexibility. Well, my head after that fall is feeling much, much better. I still have a little bit of vertigo, but I'm definitely back to normal. Wrist is also back. No more. Jeff Wagner, thank you. Thank you, Ziggy007. Thank you, all of you guys. Dark Angel, you're welcome. He says, I'm a new person on the block, but no, what is this all about? I'm very confused. I will gladly fill you in, Dark Angel. I don't know if you're a rideshare driver. Are you? Do you drive for Uber and Lyft? If not, you're welcome. You're welcome in. As a public member, as a rider, you're welcome here. We are basically sharing ideas. We're getting through these troubling times. We're giving feedback from various markets. We're sharing what people are making in different markets with Uber and Lyft, how many hours they're driving, sort of getting an idea how much business has dropped. We've run several calculations in the last 2 hours, thanks to our members. And then we're also applying a ton of pressure on Uber on April the 1st. Who's the fool now? Right, where we switch the Uber apps off for a week, the Lyft apps on, and then April the 8th, 8 a.m., we do that in reverse. The Lyft apps go off and the Uber apps go on. Why? To send a powerful message globally that we have the power if we want to exercise it. Don't mess with us. Shine Telemundo, hashtag no haters, just rideshare. That's a pure 100% rideshare family here. Even if you're not a rideshare driver, even if you're a taxi driver, you're welcome here. If you're a bus driver, you're welcome here. If you're a limo driver, you're welcome here. Any form of driver. We get it, hacker. You just heard that word right now. Did you just learn about that right now, hacker? I'm asking you not to do it too often. I'll let you say it a few times, but not again. You don't want to face the royal flusher, hacker. Really. Guys, no. Right, so you've had your moment of glory there, hacker. See how he writes coronavirus many times? That's it. That's the only little, okay, there he is. He obviously can't listen. Some people can't listen, so you got to treat them like a 5-year-old. right? Sadly, some people don't listen. You have to really treat them like a 5-year-old. You tell that 5-year-old, hey, don't touch the flame. You're going to burn yourself. Don't touch it. And they don't listen. And you tell them 1,000 times, they don't listen. This is when we got to get the toilet out. Hate to do this to you, hacker, but there he is. He's wet. He's stinky. And where does he belong, ladies and gentlemen? Flush, 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 flush. Sorry, hacker. Enjoy. Oh. Bye. He had his 20 seconds of glory, and then he went down the flusher. Feels good, hacker? Enjoy it. No, we don't have space for these guys. And he said a couple of crazy words as he was flushed down, but his voice got softer and softer and softer as he sunk into the depths of the pipes. Alan Winston, 12 hours online. Let me hear this. You were 12 hours online, you made $6? Please don't tell me that. Really? If you could break it down for me, what city, Alan, how many hours you were online, what you made, and what category you're driving in. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you. Milwaukee. Oh, you made $60 for 12 hours in Milwaukee on UberX. So you made like $5 an hour. Was that on UberX? Am I right? I haven't, Eddie Leal. Is it worth the visit? Thank you. So Alan Winston put in 12 hours in Milwaukee, made $60, $5 on average, right? In these tough times. What would you usually make in those 12 hours, Alan? And then the other question I have is, what did you spend on gas, roughly? So let's do some simple math and see whether it was worth it. But I completely understand if you need the money, and let's say, and no one's judging you, no one judges another fellow rideshare driver in this channel. If you got to go out and make the money, and that's the way you have to make your money, we respect you, right? So if you are hustling out there for 12 hours to make $60, right, which is $5 an hour, all I kindly ask is, what did you put gas-wise into that car, right? Hopefully you were driving a hybrid or an electric vehicle or something, so that we can do some math here. Eddie Leal says, nice area, farmland, quiet, very cool. So thank you for sharing, Alan. So Alan Winston said, 12 hours in Milwaukee on UberX, made $60, spent $10 on gas, basically $50 in 12 hours. So you're looking at $4.50 per hour. If that can get you through the day, through the week, if you can average that, I'm happy for you. I really am. And you will come out the other side in a few months. Awesome. Exactly, Nathaniel. As long as we can learn from each other, right? So David Garcia's got to go. Have a blessed night. Be safe out there, my friend. We will see you again in the next live feed. Alan Winston also says normally you'd make 180 in those 12 hours. So that's a big difference. That's a huge difference. 180 versus 60, that's like $120 less. That's a lot. That's a big, big difference. Probably losing a good 70, 80% there, correct? So, my friends, one last request. I'm going to be out at the 2-hour mark. We're on 96 thumbs up. We have 116 people in the house. I really appreciate you guys for making it through 120 minutes with me. Randall Heimovicki from Uber. If you came into my video and you listened, you missed the deadline, 5 p.m. Friday. You did reach out to me at 6:45. Unfortunately, that was too late, my friend. You did get my papers. You did not act. Sorry, that's just the way I drive the bargain. So your cards are off the table. Negotiation is off the table. We'll have to resort to plan B to get our monies, right? Roger Fadel, thank you. Garcia Bui, thank you. We're on 99. I need one more thumbs up. I really enjoy going out on 100 thumbs up. Makes me feel good, makes me know that my time was worth it. 99. Uno, por favor. 102. Thank you, merci, gracias. Spasiba. Dankeschön. Dankjewel. You guys have a great night. Let's just set a nice frequency here for the weekend, my friends. Everybody thumbs up, thumbs up. I appreciate you all. Have a great weekend. It's Friday. Be safe out there. And then give me more feedback tomorrow. And I'm sure we'll be learning a lot together in the next few days, how the pins are going, how income is going, the creative stories that people will be sharing, how they're making additional money. It's important that we get to share that. Go Donny Com walks in very, very late, but I hope you're doing great, my friend. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Go Donny Com. Be safe out there. Take care of your family. Drive safe. Have a good one, you all. Appreciate you. Thank you, and thank you.